because I've been down that road where I start my day with 3 hours of social media.
Yep.
And I'm done at the end of the 3 hour period, and I cannot do anything else except for skate and be pretty crabby the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Because Adulting is Hard podcast. I'm Alita, this is Garrett, and it's Fun Friday, y'all.
Hello, everyone.
That's us. So Fun Friday is really just a day that you get to ask me random questions and we get to do fun things, because that's really why I like you, is because you make me laugh.
We do random stuff. We're very similar people.
We are.
It's scary.
It's actually really scary because the more and more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, God, we are an odd match together, but man, we are a lot alike.
Yes.
A lot alike.
All right. First random question right out the gates. I know we are both people who try very different things to get ahead. We analyze ourselves all the time. What's your morning routine like?
So I think that I've had several morning routines over my adult lifetime, but a lot of those I build on top of and find what works. So for me, no, I am not a person that has to get up at the same particular time, but I'm usually up every day by 5:15.
Yeah.
That's a late sleep.
That's early.
Time. That is early, but that's a late sleep time.
For a lot of people, that's early.
Right. But for me, I have to get up first thing in the morning, and I have to go outside. There are some cannabinoid needs that happen first thing in the morning. And I have to have quiet time in the morning. So I read a Bible. I read a section out of my Bible. I have a book that I read a short chapter. Well, actually, it reads it to me. So I listen to a short chapter, one thing.
Do you do that with like the Bible app, or is that just like out of the book?
I do the Bible app. I also have another app that I use. I think it's related to the She Rises. I think there's a following on Facebook. I think that's what it is. I can link that on here.
Yeah.
It's got a Bible verse, and then it's got a short reflection, and then it's got a prayer, and you can pick packages that you go with it. Like, so I'm on a seven day marriage thing right now.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a cool, but they're not too long that it loses my attention. And it a lot of times gives me cool verses that I can go to and follow.
That's cool.
Obviously I'm an app person because I follow that by Headspace. Teaching myself to meditate has been an interesting morning routine, but I can tell a huge difference. I want to say the first time I meditated, 3 minutes was as long as I could sit. 15 minutes is about...
That's rough. 3 minutes.
3 minutes. It's without learning to control the racing thoughts, the shift from one thought to the next,
So it's funny you said that. The first time I tried meditating, I almost had like a panic attack because I couldn't control, I was just out of control, and I couldn't go down my rabbit holes.
No,
and
right.
It was hard to not do that and literally just be there.
And that's one of the reasons I like Headspace. There's no connection. I know there's no connection between.
This is not a paid advertisement.
No, this is not a paid advertisement. But Headspace does a really good job. There's a male and a female voice, but I have a male voice, and he talks in a manner that tells me things like that. At the very beginning of it, he was remember this is an exercise. Don't criticize yourself for not being able to do the meditation correctly, because I'm kind of like you. The first time I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to do this again. That was very intense. I've cried during it. I'm like, what is that feeling? But it's a cool skill to use in the morning. And then following meditation, there is some type of physical activity that has to happen. I try to skate typically in the morning. I do some type of workout, but in order for me to human in a day, unmedicated, because that is a thing for me. I just no longer take attention deficit disorder medication. I'm obviously hyperactive.
That's huge. We definitely need to talk about that sometime.
We do, because I just have gone to a holistic approach, and I just won't take it anymore. It took me probably a year and a half to get off Adderall, and I just won't go back. But knowing that about myself, part of my morning routine is I have to do some physical activity. Otherwise, my anxiety is all over the place because I'm starting out of the gate already anxious.
Yeah, that's crazy. So obviously that's evolved, right?
Oh, right.
And I'm sure that's not the first thing you've tried. I think oftentimes our personality is criticized for jumping ship from thing to thing and trying new thing after new thing. But I think that helps us out.
It helps me. It helps my skill set, kind of my little bucket of things that I carry around. It helps me put things in there, and it also helps me take things out that say, yeah, that didn't work. Yeah. Abandon ship. That did not work. And I can tell, and the people around me can tell when I've done my full I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous that I need 2.5 hours in the morning, 2 hours. That's why I get up earlier than everybody else.
I'm right there with you.
To just human.
It's difficult.
It is a difficult thing to do, but it is also what makes me a successful person. Learning to harness that amount of energy.
Yeah.
It also allows me to own 3 companies and do all of those things that I'm balancing.
So let's talk about this. What do you usually think about when you meditate?
So I am actually when I am meditating, I am truly trying to learn. I have a habit of being, I know this is going to sound, but I am an all or nothing person. So my anger levels are either I'm completely calm or in my past lives, I'm going to put hands through walls. I mean, I've been a very, very intense person at that. So what I'm working on in meditating, and one of the things that, again, I like about Headspace is that he reminds you at the beginning and the end of this to think about who you're doing it for, not only for yourself, but the benefit of those people around you. Right. So I'm learning to literally note those thoughts that are coming through and not perseverate on them, and which causes me to jump from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And so I am actually, when I'm meditating, I think of the sun and I visualize my place in Jamaica and literally learning to clear my mind, because a lot of time I am the cause of my own anxiety. It's less about the things that are going on around me.
That's a strange thing. Mm-hmm. I can definitely relate.
So I'm learning that skill, and I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but I'm learning that in times that my staff joke that I only work in 45-minute increments. That's one of my accommodations, is that I go outside, I calm my head again, and otherwise I just jump from task to task to task, and I'm actually more inefficient than I am. So in the morning, I'm practicing a skill. Then when I'm skating, quite honestly, I've probably got 6 or 7 playlists that I am at, but right now I'm stuck on Mandisa, and her and I are literally just skating it out, skating the Rona out. I mean, I think at the beginning of all of this, I was just like, I am going to just skate, and I skate until I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And so I told Clay last week, I skated 47 miles. My watch told me.
Seriously?
I did.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
It's awesome though. So how do you know when something's not working? Because we try new things and we go and we obviously change what we do. So how do you know, like, okay, this is not working?
So for me, I usually give it, somewhere around 14 days. I try something, but my biggest thing is just the struggle to like get up and be efficient, and actually have a plan for the day. Cause I have the extreme of, I'm just going to be manic and I'm going to go do anything that I want to do. I'm going to ride the mini bike. I'm going to do this. I'm going to not do that. And then I'm going to be mad that I didn't get my work done. And so then I'm going to work on that all night long.
Yep.
And so just learning to do things in a way and learning, okay, that didn't work. Allowing myself that kind of freedom in the morning didn't work. So how do I rein that back in? How do I become efficient with my day?
Just want you to know, my brain's doing fireworks right now with video ideas. So
are you?
We'll talk about that a little bit.
I love that. Really?
Yeah. That's where it's going.
And so I think that learning a morning routine, and quite frankly, it has absolutely nothing to do with, people tell me all the time, I wish I was motivated as you. I am the probably least motivated person ever, but I'm an extremely disciplined person.
Yeah.
To the extent that almost over disciplined sometimes.
Let me ask you something. How do you wake up and not do this? Do you do that? Do you check your phone like first thing when you get up?
I used to.
It's a habit that I definitely do, and I tell myself I'm going to keep breaking that habit, and then every morning.
So that goes back to that thing that when I pick up my phone, I tell myself that here's the app that I'm going to start with. Okay, I'm going to start with the Bible. Here it is. Like first thing out of the gate. I then follow it. If I don't, I can go down that. So, I run a huge social media platform, and I get sucked down, and then there's a whole lot. I do think there's a period of time that I'm efficient in the morning if I've got some business to get done, but I give myself a 30-minute window, check the things that need to be done and uploaded from the night before. I do not scroll through Facebook. I do not I don't look at emails. I do not respond to text messages, nothing. Because if I don't, it is a rabbit hole. It's one of those things that when you say from failure, how do I learn? Because I've been down that road where I start my day with 3 hours of social media.
Yep.
And I'm done at the end of the 3 hour period, and I cannot do anything else except for skate and be pretty crabby the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I'm going to pitch an idea to you.
Okay.
Maybe we do some series where we try new things for like a 14-day span, and we let people know how it went.
I would love to do that. And I mean, because there's quite a few people that follow us on this platform that ask me about my daily routine. And I actually text several people. I'm linked to my watch with several other girls, and that may be the only communication we have in the day. But there's something inspiring to know that your friend got up at the crack of dawn and drug their butt to do something that they didn't necessarily, want to do first thing in the morning. But the benefit that it has for me and my children and my spouse and my staff at my stores is as astronomical. So it's worth the effort.
Absolutely. Well, I think people can look out for that soon. I definitely
Sweet.
think that would be interesting. And I think people would benefit from just your insight on what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, if you're going to continue using that, whatever we're going to call it.
There's some
tool.
yoga strategies we can try and some different things and see how I love this platform because you're getting to see Garrett and I learn together and do different things. So I think that's it. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, sweet. Thanks for joining us for the Because Adulting is Hard podcast. And remember to live happier because adulting is hard.